Good evening. Adelaide's Catholic Archbishop has been charged with concealing child sex abuse committed by another clergyman 3 decades ago. A charge Philip Wilson says he will vigorously defend. Reporter Alice Monfries joins us live. Alice, the accusation has rocked the church.
Well, that's right, Brenton. This has sent shockwaves through the Catholic Church. Philip Wilson is the most senior Catholic Church official anywhere in the world to be charged with such a crime he strongly denies. Adelaide's Archbishop stands accused of covering up child sex abuse committed by another priest, Jim Fletcher.
Jim Fletcher, it's now been proven, had victims for 30-odd years. Now, if somebody knew about that from his earliest days, then that person is complicit in the suffering of every one of Jim Fletcher's victims.
As New South Wales Police publicly confirmed the charge against Archbishop Wilson, senior members of the Catholic Church in South Australia convened a crisis meeting. In the cathedral next door, worshippers attended Mass and emerged to news they could barely believe.
Please God he'll be acquitted and it wasn't true in the first place.
I'm sure every Christian is upset about that.
Do we know the truth? The Lord knows.
Philip Wilson is charged with concealing a serious offence committed by paedophile priest Jim Fletcher in the 1970s. At the time, both were working in the Catholic Church's Maitland diocese near Newcastle. Fletcher died in prison 9 years ago, but victim Peter Gogarty pushed for others to be called to account.
Without commenting on the specifics of Archbishop Wilson's charges, I think the very fact that the authorities in New South Wales and in Australia, in fact, have decided that in this country no one is above the law.
Archbishop Wilson issued a statement denying the accusation, saying he was disappointed to have been charged. The suggestion appears to be that I failed to bring to the attention of police a conversation I am alleged to have had in 1976 when I was a junior priest that a now deceased priest had abused a child. He also confirmed he was taking immediate leave. Well, Philip Wilson has served as Adelaide's Archbishop for the past 14 years, and for all of that time, the issue of child sex abuse has cast a long shadow over the church, from a scandal that had its origins more than a decade before he arrived.
Although the hymns were ancient, the Mass for Philip Wilson's installation brought a new generation to the helm of South Australia's Catholic Church.
So we pray our Christmas Mass today in gratitude to God for the gift of Jesus.
But the nation's youngest Archbishop received a poisoned chalice in 2001. Within months of arriving from his home state of New South Wales, Philip Wilson inherited the ugly fallout from a 1990s child sex scandal. A bus driver had molested disabled children from the St Anne's School, prompting the Archbishop to introduce tough new procedures to beat sex offenders.
I think it's a big issue that we have to take on and deal with in the best way that we can.
But it wasn't enough for the parents of the St Anne's victims, still reeling after the previous church leadership had tried to sweep the scandal under the carpet.
As far as religion's concerned, you can keep it. I don't believe in that anymore.
His ministry overtaken by a monstrosity, the Archbishop further insulted many parents by using the word gift to describe his offers of cash to the victims. A failure to communicate directly also drawing flack.
I asked for the meeting to be postponed until we could formulate a response.
We need answers as to why they were all so hell-bent on covering up.
But now the questions could be even harder for the Archbishop and will have to be answered from the dock in a New South Wales courtroom. Tony Morabito, 9 News.
And Brenton, the Archbishop will now be forced to return to Newcastle, where he will have to front court on April 30. If convicted, he could face up to 2 years in prison.